It all started on a cold, rainy evening when I was standing outside a tiny coffee shop, holding my last cup of cheap coffee and staring at my phone like it had personally betrayed me. Rent due tomorrow. That message from my landlord felt like a death sentence. I had already lost my previous job. My savings were disappearing faster than my motivation, and the city was too expensive for someone surviving on instant noodles and false hope. I needed a room, fast, not a luxury apartment, not a beautiful studio. Just 4 walls, a roof, and hopefully no rats bigger than my future. After hours of searching online, I found one strange listing. Cheap room for rent, fully furnished, quiet area, very low price. The price was suspiciously low, like criminally low. Either it was a scam or someone had died there. So at that point, honestly, both options were affordable. The address led me to an old house at the end of a silent street. It looked like every horror movie warning sign combined. Broken gate, flickering porch light, trees moving dramatically for no reason, and a cat staring at me like it already knew I was making a mistake. Perfect. I knocked. After a long silence, the door slowly opened. An old man stood there, wearing glasses, and the kind of expression people have when they know your future, and it's terrible. "You're here for the room?" he asked. I smiled nervously. "Yes, sir." He stared at me for 3 full seconds. Too long. Then he stepped aside. "Come in." The house smelled like old wood, forgotten memories, and poor life decisions. Still, it was clean. Surprisingly clean. He showed me the room upstairs. It was actually nice. A bed, a desk, a wardrobe, a small window, and only medium-level depression vibes. I looked around and said, "This is great, but why is the rent so cheap?" He adjusted his glasses. "No reason." That answer was illegal. I laughed awkwardly. "No, seriously, there must be a reason." He looked at me and said quietly, "The previous tenants didn't stay long." Silence. Thunder outside. Perfect timing. I should have left. I should have run. I should have remembered every horror movie ever made. But my bank account said otherwise. So I smiled like a financially irresponsible adult and said, "I love long-term commitment." He nodded like a man attending my funeral. That night, I moved in. I unpacked my clothes, placed my laptop on the desk, and celebrated my new home by eating noodles that tasted like regret. At around midnight, I lay in bed scrolling through my phone. The house was too quiet. No traffic, no neighbors, no sound. Just silence. And somehow, silence can be louder than noise. At exactly 2:13 a.m., I heard it. Click, click, click. Footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. Inside my room, I froze. Maybe it was the owner. Maybe it was a thief. Maybe it was my unpaid bills coming to kill me personally. I slowly opened my eyes, and there she was, sitting on my chair. A girl, long black hair covering half her face, pale white skin, a loose white dress, dark hollow eyes. She looked like every cursed spirit from every horror film ever made. She was staring directly at me. I forgot how breathing works. This was it. This was how I die. Killed by rent and a ghost. She slowly tilted her head and said, "Do you have Netflix password?" I blinked. My soul blinked. Even my ancestors blinked. "What?" She sighed like I was the inconvenience. "Netflix. Password. Please don't make this harder than death already is." I sat up slowly. "You're a ghost." She rolled her eyes. "Yes, obviously. I died here 12 years ago. It's a whole thing. But right now, I need entertainment." I stared. She stared. Thunder added unnecessary drama. Finally, I whispered, "You're haunting me?" She crossed her arms. "No, I'm judging your room decoration and asking for Wi-Fi access. Honestly, fair." Still shaking, I handed her the Wi-Fi password. She typed it into my TV like she'd done this before. The screen lit up. She smiled for the first time. Terrifying, but somehow also cute. "Good," she said. "You can stay." Excuse me. Apparently I wasn't renting the room. I was interviewing for ghost roommate position. From that night on, we lived together. Her name was Emily. Well, technically, she said her ghost name was the Shadow of Eternal Suffering, but I refused to call that during breakfast. She hated mornings, loved horror movies, stole my snacks like it was her unfinished business, and had strong opinions about my music taste. "This playlist," she said once, "is probably why you're still single." Rude. Accurate, but rude. She never helped clean, never paid rent, never apologized for floating near the ceiling at 3 a.m. like a depressed chandelier. Every night she sat on my bed, holding the remote like she paid bills there. One evening I asked, "Do you even do normal ghost things?" She looked offended. "Of course." "Like what?" she proudly said. "I turn off the bathroom light while you're showering." I stared. "That's your terror strategy?" She nodded. "Psychological warfare. Honestly. Effective." Another time I brought a girl home. Her name was Sarah. It was our third date, and I thought things were finally going well. Dinner was ready, candles lit, romantic music playing. I was confident, which was suspicious already. Halfway through dinner, Sarah smiled and said, "You're actually really sweet." I smiled. Maybe life was improving. Then suddenly, the kitchen lights flickered. The room turned cold. And from behind Sarah, Emily slowly crawled out of the darkness, like she was auditioning for a demon documentary. She leaned close to Sarah and whispered, "He still cries while listening to sad songs at 2 a.m. Silence. Sarah looked at me. I looked at my future leaving the building. She stood up. "Thank you for dinner." And she left. I turned to Emily. "You ruined my date." She floated dramatically onto the sofa. "No, I protected innocent civilians." I hated that she was funny. Weeks turned into months, and somehow, life with a ghost became normal. We argued over TV shows. She mocked my haircut. I complained when she appeared in mirrors without warning. Sometimes we even sat together in silence. Not scary silence. Comfortable silence. Like old friends. One rainy night, I asked her, "Why are you still here?" She looked at the window for a long time, then quietly said, "Because I was lonely when I was alive too, for the first time." Didn't sound like a joke. She told me she died young. No dramatic murder, no cursed ritual, just a normal accident. And after that, everyone moved on, except her. This house became her whole world. And maybe that was the saddest haunting of all. I didn't joke that night. I just sat there beside her. Sometimes ghosts don't need fear. Sometimes they just need someone who stays. After that, things changed. She smiled more, scared me less, still stole my chips. But emotionally, we were growing. Then one night, I came home late from work, and the house felt wrong. Too quiet, no TV, no sarcastic comments. No ghost sitting upside down on the sofa judging me. Just silence. Real silence. I checked every room. Nothing. Then I saw it. A small note on the table. I picked it up. Her handwriting was messy. It said, "I found better Wi-Fi next door. Also, your snacks are terrible. And your cooking is a crime. But, thanks for making death less boring. Take care, idiot." I laughed. And then, for some reason, I cried. Because somehow, somewhere between fear and nonsense, she had become family. The next morning I packed my things. The room felt empty now. Not haunted, just lonely. And I realized something strange. Sometimes the people who scare us most are the ones we miss the hardest. I moved out that day. The old landlord watched silently as I carried my bags. Before leaving, he asked, "So, how was your stay?" I smiled. "Honestly, best roommate I ever had." For the first time, he laughed. Weeks later in my new apartment, life became normal again. Boring normal, peaceful normal, no ghosts, no stolen snacks, no supernatural emotional damage. Then one night, my phone connected automatically to a strange Wi-Fi network. I frowned. The name was Ghost_Queen_official, and somehow, Netflix was already logged in. A message appeared on the TV screen. "Your new place is ugly. Also, buy better chips." I smiled. Some roommates never really leave.